Here we go. Video number 2 coming at you. Cursed Hollow. Tricked Esports. Playing Ducks. What do we want to do on Cursed Hollow? We want to control our boss lane. For Team Expert, Tricked Esports, bot lane is going to be their boss lane. They're going to want to try to get pressure down here to allow their boss to push. Maximize its value. For Playing Ducks, they're red. They're on the right. Their boss is going to be spawning up top here. Their boss lane is top. They're going to want to try to push top down. They're going to try to get some wave clear going top to allow their boss to push. But boss is in 3 minutes, so we're going to focus on early game. And here we go, Tricked Esports with a defensive play. They're going to come out, and they're going to start putting damage on these towers. They're going to start putting damage out because they're going to say, hey, let's start out a little defensive. Let's set up our opposing team on the wrong foot, and let's try to take out some structures here. So when they do get a boss, if they do get a boss, it's going to have to push through more. It's going to have to push through more minion waves. It's going to take a little bit longer. It's not going to be as effective as it can. Here's the Storm at this level of play is all about just maximizing efficiency, maximizing value. And if you get a defensive play to start the game, if you're the Tricked Esports, if you're the blue team and you have this lane pushed in, it's just going to be tough. Boss is not going to be as valuable as it could be. And Playing Ducks sees it. They have eyes on all 5. Arthas here, 4 top. And what happens a lot in quick match, what happens in Team League is people are going to start panicking. People start pinging a billion times. Or somebody needs to go top. Who's top? And you're going to start losing value. Instead, Playing Duck stays here and they say, okay, we have eyes on all 5. We're not going to get jumped. We see that they're pushing down top. Let's just take out mid. We have 5 people here. And again, same thing goes for Tricked Esports. They have eyes on all 5. They're comfortable pushing down top lane. And they're just going to trade. It's going to be an even trade going on. Level 1s or whatever. Karazim being a dick going for a freaking sippy cup. Getting that taken out. No sippy cup taken out top. So the gentleman's play by Tricked Esports here. Rotation coming in. Diva's coming in. Genji spots it. Genji's going to get away. He's not going to have a problem. And we're going to get into our lanes now. So it's going to be interesting here. You got a little pause, a little ready up. This freaking XP bar's not working. Pro players are freaking out about it. It'll fix itself. We're going to have Overwatch characters top. Annoying characters top. Genji versus Diva. Fucking pain in the ass to deal with. That's our single lane top. We're going to see single lane bot. Dahaka versus Arthas. A gentleman's agreement. They're just going to sit and soak. One guy's going to clear a wave. Get the XP. One guy's going to sit here to soak XP and vice versa. They're just going to take turns and we'll stop back in. What's interesting to note and what's important to note at the pro level, what they talk a lot about is global plays, global characters, macro awareness, map awareness. And with Dahaka being down here, you're going to have an advantage because he can brush stalker at any time. He can take a 5-on-4 and make it a 4-on-4 and make it a 5-on-4 at any moment. Arthur has to mount up. Arthur has to take his time getting to where he needs to go. And this is going to be the 3-man that Tricked Esports is going to pull out. They're going to have a Nub as a tank, Gul'dan as your damage dealer, Rhaegar as your healer. We saw last game, last video, Arya and Gul'dan just kind of stayed top most game. This time we're going to have just solo laners top, solo laners bot, and a 3-on-3 going mid. 3-on-3 is going to allow them to get camp, so you're going to see Tricked Esports and Gul'dan run back and get this camp as soon as it pops up with a Gul'dan and a Rhaegar. And then here you're going to see kind of the same thing. A Nub's going to hide because he just doesn't want to get jumped. He's just going to soak some XP when he can. Karazim and Gul'dan are going to, or Karazim and Greymane are going to come here, get their camps. Diablo is just going to do the same thing. This is just 2 tanks hanging out mid, just soaking XP. Again, they're not here taking damage. They're not here causing problems, but what they are doing is they're staying close enough to this minion range to just soak the XP. When the minions kill each other, if you're close enough, the XP will pop off. Grab a little globe there, and here we go. What do we say? A little gentleman's agreement. Just one-on-one. Just let the minions kill each other. We're just going to sit in lane, and we're going to get ready. We're professional players. We're going to try to stay ready at all times. Tahaka's going to brush stalker in, maybe. And look at this. First tribute's coming up top. Let's take a little stock of where we're at. D.Va's trying to get a pick here, trying to throw off Genji. It's not going to happen. 3 minutes in, 2 minutes 45 seconds in. 5 on 5 pretty much. So we have our talents. No difference here. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's got mana. Everyone's ready to go. Rotations are coming in. And now what we say before, Dahaka, if he wants to, he can try to get a global play in and brush Stalker up, make it a 5-on-4, or he can stay bot. What's interesting to think about is that Dahaka's not sure if he wants to stay bot, not sure if he wants to stay top, and that's because of 2 things. 1, he's got the siege camps here, so you want to try to maximize the value of them. 2, if he goes up top, it's going to take them a while. They need to get picks, they need to get the tribute quick, because it's going to take them a while to get back down, because they don't have the brush Stalker to get back down. And that's going to allow Arthas to do his thing and really push this down. And what did we say before? Tricked Esports, blue team, their boss lane is their bot lane. They want to push this down. They got a defensive up front to start by taking this wall out. Now they want to try to get aggressive. If they leave Arthas bottom, he's going to get aggressive, and he's going to put out damage. And here we go. Karazim's coming in. He's trying to get a channel early. And what we need to do at in every team game, we need to understand who's our channeler. So if we're playing Ducks, their channeler is going to be Karazim. He's going to be able to dart out if he sees a lot of damage coming his way. He's going to be able to heal himself up. Diablo and a Nub are able to just kind of rotate around. They're going to be playing down here in this area as tanks. And then here we go. Siege Camp got picked up. Siege Camp's not really getting value. They're just going to get burned down by the playing Ducks. They're trying just to delay this a little bit while the playing Ducks are able to get some value out of Siege Camps here. Siege Camps are getting some throws off. Yes, it's against minions. Maybe they get against a couple structures. Maybe it just all hits Arthas. Either way, they're getting a little bit more value, or these Siege Camps up top just get burned down. Playing Ducks are in good position. And here we go. We have a Nub over here. He uses his Q. We have D.Va come in, interrupt. And we saw D.Va in our Tower of Doom videos. We saw her in one triple warrior comp like she is now, needing to put out damage with her explosions. That's not the case this time. This is a different map. This is a different play style. That's why we're breaking it down map by map. And what we see with D.Va is she's going to be trying to use her explosions for zoning purposes. And right here, Karazim, he's our designated guy. He's coming in late. Maybe Grey May needed to get on this quicker. Maybe D.Va needed to get on it. Either way, someone needs to be on it as soon as D.Va starts popping, because these guys are running away. We saw a Nub use his Q already, so he's not going to be poking from a safe distance, and that channel could have been theirs. Instead, it's going to take too long. He starts channeling now. Explosion goes off. Genji's going to come in, and Genji's going to drop some shurikens on him. And what's important to note is that Grey Main's going to be trying to body block. We're going to see this a couple times this game, and he needs to be down here to block these shurikens coming in from Genji. Genji's going to be throwing these Qs in, and if Greyman's positioned better, he'll be able to body block and stop the shurikens from poking. Instead, he's not in the right position. Genji gets a shuriken in. It delays. Gul'dan comes in. He gets the E in. It delays. And with these delays starting to stack up, all right, we try to channel once. All right, we try to channel twice. Now you try to take stock of what's going on. So you say you need to know 3 things when you're channeling. You need to know 1, who's on the enemy team that has poke. We have Gul'dan. We have Genji. We have a Nub with his Qs and Es. So we know we have poke for the other team. On the other side, we have Karazim can blink in and out. Greymane can throw his cocktails. D.Va can just bust right in. Diablo can dive right in. Dahaka can brush Stalker in. Arthas can throw some roots in, throw some ice in. So we have a lot of poke, but now we need to keep track of who's here and who's used it. Genji's on cooldown. Gul'dan's on cooldown. A Nub might be coming off cooldown with his Q. He might be able to E in, but he's not going to risk it. They're just going to channel as the first channel. And as we see, Genji takes a ton of damage. A ton of damage. Rhaegar keeps him up with this heal. This is just ridiculous. This is just the most Genji thing I've seen in a while. He's just going to survive because the most annoying player to play against is Genji, because he does shit like that. He goes back. He gets healed up. And here we go. Gul'dan and Rhaegar are going top. They're going to try to burn this down as best they can. And this is their defensive play. They're saying, we just want to keep top lane being pushed. We don't want to give them an advantage here. How are we doing bot? Dahaka chose not to brush Stalker in that time. They were able to get the capture without him, and they were also able to not allow Arthas to push freely bot. They're doing okay on XP. Again, just going to chill here in these lanes. Let the minions do their thing and soak XP. It's a gentleman's game going on in the bot lane. We like to see that. A little tussle now, but, whatever. Here we said before, Greymane and Karazim are going to be on camp duty. They pick up bruisers as soon as it's really available. And then Rhaegar, he switches out. Gul'dan's a little bit better with lane clear, so he stays top instead of helping out Rhaegar. And Genji comes in this time. He was back healing up anyway. Genji's going to come in, start putting out some damage, start clearing up. Gul'dan's just focus, or Greymane's focus on those Qs, and we'll see those Qs come into play throughout the game. You got to get those. Great interrupt, great damage dealer, and here we go. Genji comes in, and what's nice is just Diablo's just a nice person to have against the Genji. He was able to quick Q in and just hit him here for a stun against the wall. He was able to pick him up, toss him around. And that's just point and click. That's easy stuff. That's easy stuns to deal with the Genji, who's just always getting away, always being elusive. And here we go. We got a tribute coming down bot. Gul'dan, maybe late. Maybe it might be bitching at him right now. Quick match, picking on Gul'dan. Gul'dan, what the fuck's going on? D.Va, she's able to come down with her burst or her thrusters to get down here. Camps are battling against each other, so there's no real value either gained or being lost there. A little bit of a clump up here, no problem for Tricked Esports. Instead, we're going to get a position, and what are we going to do? We're going to be, as the tribute comes online, we are on top. We're not, I'll be there in a minute. I was just clearing a camp. I was just doing this. No. We're Karazim. We're getting our tribute. We're getting our lead. We have a 1-0 lead right now. We're going for a 2-0 lead on Trib. And here we go. We're going to have Greymane come in, and this time Greymane's going to do his job. And he's going to body block. Genji's going to come in, throw some shurikens. They're not going to land. They're not going to hit because Gul'dan is body blocking. Here comes the Genji in. Here comes the team in. And they're confident. They're saying, Arthas, don't throw out your roots. Save those poke. Let's try to stagger our poke because Gul'dan's just taking forever to come in from top. So let's just, we're going to throw out Genji shurikens. That's our go-to poke. If he really needs to, Genji can jump in, but they're so confident about these shurikens. Chris, on the other hand, he's got something else in mind. He's a goddamn pro player. 1-2 block. The third one hit, but it's too late. Both of those first two Qs, Greymane, played by Chris, picks up 2 of the shurikens, allows Karazim to channel. He gets it. And now the whole fucking plan is thrown off. Genji's getting out. Everyone's backing out now because, we had, great ideas. We knew what we were going to do. But Chris had other plans. He's going to block this. And now Gul'dan is coming down. He's clearing these minion waves. He was on his way down, but he said, fuck it. Let's just clear these minions. What I like to see now is him go top. And maybe he goes top and he starts clearing these waves. He races for 10. But instead what they're going to do is they're going to say, all right, let's get boss. We backed out. It's 2-0. Gul'dan's got to be careful. Gul'dan does a ton of damage. Gul'dan, there's a lot of things to like about Gul'dan. One thing we don't like about Gul'dan is lack of mobility. If he gets stunned out, if he gets charged by Diablo, it's a wrap. If D.Va knocks him off his mount, he's in trouble. And here we go. We got a boss coming up. It's always interesting on how bosses get started, when bosses get started. It's 5 minutes in. No kills versus no kills. No real advantage. Quick match. People are freaking out. They're saying, hey, no one's dead. Why are we getting boss? What's going on? Boom, this is why we're getting boss. Sport Billy's top. You have an advantage because he's down here. Yeah, the Hawker can brush Stalker in. Yeah, Karazim can close this quick. But we got all 5 right here, good to go. 5's greater than 3, 5 stronger than 3. And look at this, they turn it around. They say, hey, Diablo's sleeping over here. The Haka brush Stalker's in, but he brush Stalker's into some shit. They got Arthur's body blocks, Arthur's stuns. Q's coming out from a nub. He wiggles his way around to get some body blocks in. Rhaegar's healing up. D.Va now from top lane is finally back, but it's too late. Diablo's hurt. Diablo's going down. We all know it. Greymane's backing off because he's not trying to get caught out, trying to get re-rotated on by Tricked Esports. And Diva comes in. She tries to put out her mitigation. But what are we going to see? We're going to see Genji come in. Just jump right around it. He's going to jump up here. Finish the kill on Diablo. And these tanks are just going to start focusing over here. Saying, hey, can we get two? Can we get Wolf Joe and Karazine? Can we bring them down? That's the easy kill. Genji jumps over here. They focus over here. Diva's able to get some knockback with her thrusters. And here we go. What happens when we get kills? When we're on a big map and we got a 5-on-4 advantage and we get a kill, we can't be taking time. It takes too long to go back and get a siege camp. Oh, let's get camp. Oh, let's get our boss now. We got a 5-on-4 advantage. Someone's is dead. Let's get boss. 14 seconds on Diablo. No, what do? We're pro players. We're trying to learn from pro players. We're going to take down structures. We're going to get a structural advantage. We're going to get an XP advantage. And that's what we're going to capitalize on. Bosses will get those later. Siege camps will get those later. Right now, we're focused on XP. We're focused on structure lead. Yeah, Playing Ducks knows that too. They know they're going against pro players. So they stay back. They stay at home. They defend. Dahaka makes his move up here. I kind of like it. He's going for 10. He's going to brush Stalker in when he needs to. But for now, he's going to try to get this big chunk of XP that's just waiting up top. And here we go. Arthas, our man Arthas, all game long has been battling bot lane, doing his thing, just patiently waiting for a track to explode on. And he's just looking at this now saying, hey, I got free push coming in. I'm going to be able to get a lot of value. I'm going to try to get us 10s. I'm going to try to get our boss lane pushing, our bot lane pushing. And here we go. Rhaegar's channeling this time because he happened just to be a little closer. And he's going to get boss. Experts saying, or Playing Ducks is saying, fuck it. We're up 2-0 right now in curse points. We don't care. Go take one. You get boss. We get boss. It's a trade. That's what Playing Ducks is saying. Tricky Esports is saying, all right, hey, you're going to get boss. We're going to get boss. But guess what? We got an advantage in boss lane. Tricked Esport or Playing Ducks has battled back a little bit. They've gotten, the structures might be down, but their minion waves pushing for their boss. And Blue, they're coming in. They're trying to get their boss pushing. Look at this. They're not capping it right just yet because they want the minions up. They want to kill if they can get it. They engage. They get stuns out. They get Genji. They get roots, but it's just not enough. Dahaka, just a really nice play by Dahaka there to avoid a lot of damage and try to get out of there. And here we go. We got boss on boss. 2-on-1. 10-on-10. 1 kill to none. Where are we at advantage-wise? We got the boss at the wall with 1 tower up. No big deal. But here we go. We got the boss getting tower shots. No wall down. No towers down. Diablo's going to do what he can to try to help speed this along. But he's got no global play. If he was a Dahaka up here, yeah, then maybe he can brush Stalker in. They kind of get Diva back off. They kind of try to rotate on her. And they're just going to let people in quick match again are going to be freaking out. They're going to be pinging a million times, trying to get this. Oh, we got to defend. We got to defend. These are pro players. They grab a siege camp. They let it do work. They say, hey, we're going to lose down a fort. We understand we're going to lose a fort. Even top lane, we say, hey, we might lose a fort. It's no big deal. We got to focus on the team. We got to focus on the team fight. And we got to be healthy. We got to be manned up. And we got to be ready to go because we can't get cursed. That's the main focus. We can't get cursed. So Dahaka, he moves down bot lane because this camp is just not going to be able to deal with this boss. And what I think is just kind of fucking weird is that Dahaka just is going to focus on clearing minions. I mean, you don't really need the XP. You need to burn this guy down and get back to your tribute. I mean, maybe you're not focused on the tribute as much because you're saying, hey, it's 2-3 or it's 2-1. Who cares if it gets to 2-2? But Playing Ducks seems like they want a cap. Like, they're going to be aggressive here. They're going to try to get a cap as best they can on this tribute. And Dahaka's just down here just killing minions, soaking XP, just letting this guy do his thing. And I think he gets down a couple towers here. Maybe gets down the wall. Or maybe gets down nothing. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, team fight's going on here. And what do we got going on? A lot of damage going on Karazim. He's going to be able to heal that up. Our tanks are going to be just chilling up top. A Nub's going to try to get in the right spot for a nice stun. Diva's going to be in and try to get in a nice spot for her zone. And she's going to do it. Here we go. So she's going to send out her explosion. And she's going to do her damnedest to zone these three out. These three out, allow Karazim over here, who's a little bit of a sneaky son of a bitch. And now he's on point. He's getting the capture going before the diva gets thrown out. And that's what we want to see. However, with just because of this lane that's set up and the way diva can go, she can go here. You know, it's a little bit of a predictable spot. Alex Pro G knows that. Alex Pro G is a pro and a G. He's going to be moving down. He's going to set up shop here. He's going to throw in a route here. He's going to delay because we need to keep track. Who has delays? Before it was Gul'dan and Genji. Now we got Arthur throwing in the mix. He's got roots. There it is. It comes out. Boom. Avoids it. Avoids the explosion. Gets the roots on. Genji comes in for some follow-up damage on top of Karazim. They know Karazim's their pickup guy. Their channeling guy, so they get some nice damage out on him. He's able to just jump over this ledge. He's able to jump away. Anub's in a little bit of an odd spot, but again, Anub, he can do his thing. He can just take damage. He can, and here we go. We have Fear come out, and he connects with two, connects with both tanks, but we also have an Apocalypse. We have a big-time Apocalypse that comes out. And it comes out in two ways. It comes out, one, just here, taking a lot of people by surprise. I think we see a Rhaegar Cleanse come out here in a second on maybe the Genji, I'm not sure. But we also see a silence on Anub back here, along with the Apocalypse coming out. And he's just in a little bit of trouble. He cocoons to try to keep him up, but with Greymane and Karazim's putting out the business, doing the business. It's mayhem. Look at this damage. Just bunny hop all you want. Genji's fine. Gul'dan's fine. Rhaegar's fine. Alex Pro G is fine. And again, they're not focused on the tribute. They're not freaking out about this tribute. Chris is burning down this cocoon. Karazim's just putting out good damage, but Rhaegar's going to be coming over. I think he drops an Ancestral on a nub here. And they're focused on the team fight. Boss is finally down. Towers are, taking some shots. Have some shots left. Walls down. Boss is going to be dropping down shortly up top over here. So again, we're going to see a little structural advantage on the side of blue, on the side of Trait Esports. Lanes are being pushed in, though, by playing Ducks. We like to see that. We like to see that Siege Camp play. All while this team fight is just popping off. But there's just too much damage on the side of Genji and Gul'dan. Both tanks are going to go down here. Here comes the Ancestral. He's trying to follow up with a 7-sided strike. So they burn down. They use their Greymane cocktails. They use their Greymane swipes. They use their Cursed Bullet. They use Karazim punches, Karazim damage, Karazim ults, 7-sided strikes. Just not enough for Remmer. Not enough for Rhaegar. That's why you do the Rhaegar. Look at that heal. When it starts getting low, things start getting bad. Diablo went down over here on the left. Diva's going to go down for the roots and the slow. She's not going to be able to escape. Another person that lacks mobility, especially when lacks mobility when she's out of the mech. She's in the mech, she's mobile as fuck. When she's out, she gets in these slows from Arthur. She can't escape. And here we go. Anub's full health. Anub's going in. He's like, yo, let's get Chris. Let's get this damage dealer. And let's get a real nice lead going. He comes in for a stun. There's a follow-up from Genji. They pull the camp. Greymane's able to get out. Karazim's coming in to help if he can. Dahak is just fucking taking body blocks. Little Q there to kind of screw with the nub. And they're backing out now. Karazim's going back. Greymane is full health. They're going to be full health. Dahak is moving bot already. And this is what we see. Pro players, they're quick. They're on point. They're not thinking. They're just reacting. They're grabbing a camp here. They're going to say, okay, take that camp, whatever. We'll burn it down as soon as you get it. It's just not value that we can get. We're just losing value because we can't cap it if you're the playing Ducks. You're just going to take this camp down. You're not going to let it do anything, but you're also not going to get value from it. Instead, here we go. Karazim, just blah, 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 blah. Greymane, blah, blah, blah. Going to take it out. Instead, they back out. They're going to grab their siege. They're going to start pushing down this top lane. Again, a defensive play. They're going to say, okay, we need to... If they get another boss now, that boss is walking straight to the keep. Same thing on both sides. So they're going to try to push out lanes. They're going to try to push out this top lane. Here goes Arthas or Soul Laner. He's just going to walk the siege camp up forward as best he can. I think Dahaka went bot, and then he just full health, full mana backed for some reason. I think he does it twice this game. I'm just not sure why he does it. But here we go. He brush stalkers in up top, tries to get a little bit of a zone out for his team. And then playing Ducks are going to say, hey, you took our bruiser camp, we're going to take yours, but we're actually going to get some value from this. That's what you got to do. You got to maximize. You got to maximize value, and that comes with timing. That comes with just understanding what's going on. And here we go. They grab that bruiser cam. That bruiser cam, look at the health on that. Keep or allow that for it. It's going to chunk it down a little bit. And Tricked Esports knows what's going on. They're rotating. So they got their main tank up front, utility player and damage coming in second, and then carry in the back, support in the back. It's just a weird spot. This is just a weird spot to fight, especially with these guys coming down here. So what's going to happen is you're going to have playing Ducks trying to get out. They're like, hey, we're not on our side of the map. We need to get out. They're going to be running down, right down Broadway. And a nub's going to come here and just kind of post up. Lay out a stun. Keep him here. Everyone's trying to escape. Here comes a stun out. And now you're setting up. And if you're tricked, you're just like, fuck, I hate standing. I hate fighting right here. This is just a weird spot to be in, especially, it's mainly because of this right here. Gul'dan's going to be poking from the back, and he's going to be putting out damage the way, however he can. But he's just in a kind of a weird spot, especially with Diablo. Diablo can just charge right over this and stun you out if you get kind of caught out. And again, we said playing Ducks are just trying to escape. So they tried going this way. It's not there, so they're going to go bot. They're going to try to escape that way. And, Nub's getting tossed around, whatever. And they're just trying to escape. And this is why we focus on the lanes that we focus on. If you're Tricked Esports, you've been focusing on bot lane all game long. You're trying to open up the map. You're trying to get the structure lead. And for what reason? Look at this mini map. This is all fair game now. There's no structures here to run behind. There's no waves to run behind. I mean, yeah, the minions are here, but there's no walls to run behind. And this is just fair game now for Tricked Esports. So if you want to chase, you can chase. Tribute's coming up 2-2, so next one counts. And look at this. Oh, this is playing Duck saying this is exactly what we want. We want one tank to come forward too far, preferably Arthas, because he's just not able. I mean, yeah, he can sustain a little bit more, but he's just not able to deal with a cursed bullet lands, chunks him down so hard. 7-sided strike comes out just on him. Look at this isolation. This is what you're looking for if you're 4-team over here, one guy by himself. If you're Karazim, you're saying, all right, let's land this 7-sided strike, try to just hit this one guy and really chunk him down, and they do just that. However, oh my god, look at that fear. Damage dealer gets feared. Both tanks get feared. Dahaka utility guy gets feared. And just Rhaegar's able to just Q him once. Q Arthas once. Arthas able to help himself out. Genji's going to start putting out damage with his ult, and this is kind of a backbreaker. If you're a tank player and Rhaegar's healing you up full health, okay, I get it, but you really want to try to save that, I think, for the Genji. You want Genji to just have as much time, as much uptime as possible, allow him to be as aggressive as possible. Yes, it's kind of tough to deal with Genji, because chances are Genji's just very far forward if you're a support player, and it's tough to heal him. But if you're a pro team and you're communicating properly, you should be able to stay in range enough to keep Genji up. Instead, you have to use your Ancestral on Arthas. It allows your utility to stay going. Someone's in this cocoon right here. There's unfortunately going to be no follow-up because of this bunny hop going on, because of this sick ult from Diablo. And what we see Rhaegar, just unsung heroes or the support players. He's going to land a real nice cleanse on Gul'dan, allow Gul'dan to stay up, not get stunned out. Gul'dan's promise mobility. If he starts getting stunned, he's in trouble. There goes the unstoppable cleanse on Gul'dan, allow him to get out. Diablo comes out of this, ready to roll. He's going to be diving. Dahaka just needs to be trying to come up top and try to help his healer and his damage dealer. Instead, he's kind of getting stuck in no man's land, and because of that, he's just not doing anything. If you're If you're Eternal, you gotta be providing some value. You gotta provide some utility. Whether it's a tongue on Genji, whether it's just damage on Genji, whatever it is, you gotta provide some value. Instead, 5-man here from Trick is just doing what they need to do. And this is just kind of interesting to watch Arthas here. Just a little tidbit for those Arthas players out there. You got your slows coming out on Arthas. Diablo, we said before, just tough with mobility when it comes to mobility unless he has his charge. And what he's going to do is he's going to use his charge on Genji to try to get out of it. And Arthas just stays at home. He stays kind of in the middle of the lane, just using a little bit of this edge to kind of hit Diablo with the slows. And then when Diablo charges up, he's just a step away still. Here it comes. Here comes the charge. He's trying to stay at home. Yeah, he's putting out damage. Yeah, he's putting out roots. But here we go. There goes the charge, and he's just never too far away. He's able just to take 2 steps over, and he's got the root still on him, the slow still on him. And that's what we like to see from Arthas. We want to try to maximize value. What we said before this camp, yeah, it's doing its thing. It's getting some value. Look at this, chunking down a whole tower, taking out tower shots. That's what we want to see. That's value. That's the value we get. And here we go. Blue, they got their siege camp going. And their siege camp is now just, they were back here. They pushed out this whole lane. They're going to take out this fort. Tremendous value from the siege camp. And a nub sneaks back, that sneaky son of a bitch. He gets a curse. And what do we say? What are we focused on? If we're a pro team, we're playing for money. We're not playing for bonus gold. We're not trying to go for keeps. We're trying to get down cores. We're trying to take out the core, move on to the next game as quick as we can. However, for Tricked Esports, they say, okay, listen, we got death timers coming online in a couple seconds. Let's open up a win condition. This is a term you're going to see thrown around a little bit, a win condition. And what that all that is saying is like, look, bot lane, our boss lane is now pushed in. If we get another boss, that boss is going straight to core. That is a condition in which we can win easily. If we get into a team fight like we are right now, if we get into a team fight and we pick 2 and it's a 5-on-3, we just rush bot. We just go core, we rush bot, we stop what we're doing, and we say, hey, we opened ourselves up a win condition earlier. Tahaka's going to come in, Eternal's going to come in. He needs to land a Q on someone important. Maybe Gul'dan, maybe Rhaegar. Definitely not Arthas. Remmer's just running away, doing what he can, and just the counter push is coming. This siege camp is getting tremendous value, especially during a curse. Now there's still 30 seconds left, and they're gonna do this thing on that wall. But boom, he knows that Brush Talker's coming in. If you're a nub, and where's the nub? He's a mile away. This is pre-nub patch. This is before they fixed this shit, and everyone's getting so fucking annoyed from these cocoons. And this is why. This is a mile away cocoon. He lands, but he lands it. It allows the Haka not to get the Brush Talker off, not to get that Q on someone important like a Gul'dan. Instead, Karazim comes over, Greymane, they focus it down, and now they just kind of back out. They said, hey, that was our engage. That was what we needed. If we're playing Ducks, we needed that tongue to really swing a team fight. We didn't get it, so we're going to back out. Diablo's just getting burnt down. And here we go. We have a Diva explosion coming out. And again, it would be nice to land some value. It would be nice to land some damage, but really what we're trying to do is we're trying to zone, we're trying to provide utility to our team, and we're trying to keep freaking Diablo alive. What I think is kind of interesting is that I think Tricked Esports is saying, okay, you know, they did what they could, we countered it. We did what we could, they countered it, and let's just walk away. And instead, a nub's going full fucking blast in. He dives in, he catches the solo 7-sided strike to himself. He's going to get stunned up, and he's just going to go down. And this fear, again, I think the fear is one, kind of little panic fear, just trying to keep a nub up because they just weren't expecting it. And 2, it just didn't land. You obviously want to get a fear someone back towards your team and kind of zone and separate them away. Instead, it fears them all away. It doesn't really help. Diva's able to just keep moving. Arthas is trying to do what he can, but playing Ducks is just too healthy here. They're just going to back off as they should have before. 5-on-4, nothing you can really do. But look at this. Siege camp the whole freaking time. It's just been burning down this wall. They're going to come over, and I just want to focus this Diablo real quick, because Diablo's going to make a nice play. Diablo comes in, charges 1. That keeps that siege camp off the tower. It allows the siege camp to refocus on Diablo. Diablo can take the damage. He's got a little armor, but Dahaka's now focusing on these minions. These minions do a lot more damage than people realize if they're just free hitting a keep, if they're free hitting a fort. So Dahaka's focused on that. Diablo's going to walk over. He's going to flip this other siege giant, and it's going to refocus on him now. He's got both siege giants on him. No problem. That's exactly what they want. Minions are off the keep, trying to keep that up as much as possible. Karazim's going to come in, full heal everyone up. Diablo's fine. They're going to clear these minions. And now you got to get back to pushing this lane down. This lane has been battling back all game. We started off with Trick just taking this as a kind of a defensive move and moving in, taking out the front wall right off the bat. Playing Ducks battled back, got their boss all the way down here, and minions push all the way down here. But this siege camp, this curse pushes all the way back. So this top lane, this boss lane for Playing Ducks has been a battle all game. We're at 15-14. 16s are going to be coming online a little bit earlier for Trick Esports, and that's just going to be a problem for Playing Ducks. What also is going to be a problem for Playing Ducks is that this win conditions opened up. This has not been a battle. Trick Esports has just been controlling bot lane this whole game. They've been waiting for the early game. They were waiting for Arthas to just get some free push. He got some free push. And since that point, they were able to get some structures down, boss captured, boss pushing, curses going, more bosses being pushed. It's just been, bot lane's just been controlled entirely by Trick. And now the nice thing is that when you have this win condition opened up, when you have this keep down, you get these catapults, and these catapults are going to do the heavy lifting for you. There's so much going on in this game. There's so much to deal with. It's so much heavy lifting to do. You just don't want, you want those cats going as soon as possible to just try to deal with it. And what do we say here? Tahaka's up here clearing minions, trying to kind of get this lane back to even, and we're going to trade boss again. Boss for Playing Ducks is going to go top lane. Trick Esports is going to go bot lane. And again, this is a fine trade for Trick Esports. They're all about bosses. Playing Ducks is kind of on at first, and Trick's all about it. They don't care. They want you to go. So Dahaka's going to go up top. If he wants to, he can kind of push out as much as he can, kind of help this boss along, and then brush stalker back. And here we go. We opened up a win condition earlier. We said, all right, if we can get boss, if we can get a 5-on-3 advantage, let's push bot. Let's try to get this win. Here we go. We're gonna get a siege camp on top of it just for fun. Really kind of put out some extra damage with the siege camp. I think we have just a little bit of a miscommunication from Playing Ducks, because D.Va comes in, she pops an ult on no one really. Arthas, I guess. If you're gonna be trying to pop or you're slow on, you really want to get it on when you have a good engage on a Gul'dan, and you really want to focus him down. Instead, it's kind of on Arthas. It's on the point. We're all fighting for this freaking siege camp. We're going to throw the game for a siege camp because that's a quick match move, but apparently it happens in pro games. What did we talk about? We said Dahaka might be brush stalker, and then he's going to try to push this lane down as much as he can. Coming for a fight. Here it comes. We want him to land a tongue on a good opponent. It's going to be a Gul'dan, maybe a Rhaegar, whatever it is. But the problem is that he needs someone in red to be over here, ready to follow up with damage. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be trying to get a tongue here. And he needs damage coming in from down here. Instead, we're too busy getting feared up top. We're too busy fighting over this siege camp. And Genji just going full ham on these people with a goddamn dragon blade. A nub. Got a cocoon out. We love that on Diablo. The stuns come out. The stuns land. Does the Haka land a Q? No. Instead, he lands his ult. He goes for the silence and then Viz on Gul'dan. So Gul'dan can't be doing damage right now. These guys got feared over here. They're coming back in for a fight. But Sport Billy is just in a tough spot. If you're D.Va popping out and you have all 5 people on top of you, you're in real trouble. And here it goes. She just goes down so fast. There's nothing you can do. Eternal again on the Dahaka play. I think he's doing a good job here on Rhaegar. And Gul'dan just trying to be a pain in the butt. He needs to land a Q. There needs to be some sort of damage follow-up, whether it's Chris, whether it's Wolf, Joe, and Karazim. Instead, he's just kind of buying time. One goes down on D.Va, and as soon as one goes down, you got to realize that this game's probably over. Diablo's just taking too much damage. Cocktail doesn't land. Diablo's down. He's back in 3 seconds. But Wolf Joe's just taking a ton of damage. Dahaka just backed up quick, and he's just hearthing. And this team's not chasing. This team's not pinging a million times, freaking out. They got one thing focused on their mind, one thing only, and that's going on core, and that's taking out this core. And look at this. This boss, like we said, free to the core. Siege camps on top. Cat on top just for fun. Icing on the cake. They've had a structural advantage all game. They've controlled boss lane. They've opened up a win condition by taking out Keep first. And this boss, again, not bad, but no win condition, no keep down. And here it is. D.Va's down. They're just not able to handle it. Too much damage comes out. Wolf Joe doing what he can. Diablo goes down anyway. And this is just GG. We're learning. We're trying to understand what the pros are doing. We're trying to get better at Heroes of the Storm. We're doing that by watching pro games. This is an HGC game from back in June. Phase 2. Playing Ducks versus Tricked Esports. Cursed Hollow. And what do we see? We see bot lane, top lane. Those are our boss lanes. Those need to get focused. Those need to get controlled. Tricked Esports knew it. Tricked Esports watched the first video. Tricked Esports had bot lane controlled all game. Top lane was back and forth for playing Ducks and Tricked Esports, but unfortunately they were just able to keep the pressure on their boss lane. They were able to open up a win condition first, and they were able to get the job done. If you like the video, give it a like. If you think it's so good enough to share it, share it. Please subscribe. Please unsubscribe. Please resubscribe. Thank you. Enjoy the next video.